Welcome everybody. So today's special episode, we're doing a bit of performance testing in Alpha 19 and Alpha 18.4. So currently we're in Alpha 18.4, we're just outside of Dyersville, and we're going to do a loop through the town using Aiden here. It's standard inbuilt character, so both settings, both RAM, everything's going to be the same between these two tests. I can't change or I'm not going to change any of the other settings. This is purely a test to see how much RAM, how much video memory, all this kind of stuff we're going to be using while we play. So let us get started straight off the bat. So we're just going to hop back into our character quickly, and we're just going to do a fly through the town. Once that fly through the town is complete, we are going to go do a bit of close combat in the hospital. Now, this is not to test the combat itself. This is just to see what happens when zombies and that spawn. Now, let us get cracking. Okay, so we're just in the hospital. We're doing a little bit of close combat just to see what the difference is. Now, obviously, this test is not to test my combat prowess or anything like that. I'm playing a level 1 character with a level 5 bat. I don't think I'll get the same bat between versions, but we're just going to kill a couple of zombies and see how we do. If I can actually hit said zombie. So up to 6.1 gigs of RAM on my video card, which is a NVIDIA 2070, and as mentioned above, we are running, hello boys and girls, we are running 18.4, which is the last stable version released currently. Now we're just, as I mentioned, doing a little bit of combat here just to see what our stats look like. Our RAM hasn't really changed. There's another one behind me. Oh, it's the same one I didn't kill earlier. All right, so that's that. So stayed at around 6.1 gigs of video RAM and about 15 gigs in total RAM usage. I'm playing at 1920 by 1080 on high. I feel it's close enough to what most people would be using. So let's jump into Alpha 19 and see how we do. So welcome to part 2. So we're in Alpha 19 build 173. You'll see currently we are using nearly all of my video RAM. That is actually quite surprising. I'm using that much video RAM. Now, we're just going to teleport ourselves to Dyersville very quickly. It's just right there. So we're just going to go to Dyersville. And so what we're going to be doing is the standard as what we have been doing is we're testing how much RAM, how much CPU usage we're going to be using between builds 18.4 in Alpha 18 and this build in Alpha 19, build 173, latest experimental with all the changes they have done. I normally run this at 1440p, so we're just going to do a fly through the town again, and let's get straight into the action. So the next part of our test is going to be doing some combat in the hospital. Now this is just testing this kind of stuff. So I just want to see what the performance is actually like and how much performance we're going to gain or lose. What I am quite surprised about is how much RAM I am actually. Hello. how much RAM I'm actually using. I'm using nearly 20 gigs RAM. Okay, I do have 32 gigs of RAM installed, and my GPU memory usage hasn't really gone down. It's sitting in 7.5 gigs. It's actually very, very surprising. Okay, that's just to boost some stamina. But my frame rate seems to be pretty steady. Now, I am cognizant of the fact that my machine is a bit above most other people's, but I don't think it's an unreasonable machine. It's an AMD 3600 with no manual overclocking at all. It boosts to what it can boost to. It's running 32 gigs of DDR4 memory at 3600 megahertz. That is a slight overclock from 3200. So yeah, it seems to be making use out. So okay, we've got every Tom, Dick, and Harry here, but my frame rate seems to be okay. We will do a side by side of everything here, but even with this many zombies on screen, I'm not even actually looking. I'm just looking at my usage here. It's only pushing my GPU to about 47 to 50% actual overall usage. So I'm not surprised about, but what is it's using basically all the video RAM. CPU, it's about 70% usage. The RAM's come down a bit to about 17.7 gigs. Now this will obviously scale according to what you have available in your system. All right, so let's jump out of here and we'll go to the conclusion. Okay, so that's the results of our testing. Very interesting results, I do think. Now, some interesting things jumped out at me. Now, you'll see on these graphs here before us, the video RAM basically used everything that's available on my graphics card, and let's call it 20 gigs of RAM in my system memory, which is a little heavy in my opinion. Granted, we are comparing apples and oranges currently. I understand that and appreciate that. But the Fun Pimps have guesstimated that they are about 2 weeks away from stable on the 15th. So I'm hoping there's a bit more less memory usage to be found, because I'm running a 2070 Super, and that's a pretty high-end graphics card currently, and it's basically maxing out my video RAM, which is not good. I mean, now I understand why people were complaining in one build 169. Where they were having lots and lots of performance issues. So this build seems to be a lot more intensive on both system and video RAM. We'll have to see what they do. I am running it on high. So maybe there's a bit more performance testing I can do in the back end to see what we can change to make the impact lesser on for people that have weaker systems. I think if you drop your texture quality, I am running default high settings, so I will list all of those down below so we can see what it is like. I'm quite surprised at how much RAM this thing actually was eating up. 20 gigs of RAM is a lot of RAM. Admittedly, my system does use a lot of RAM when it is recording, because I've got a lot of things open when you do record. It's the nature of the beast. But be that as it may, let us, as I said, this is a very quick one. We're just jumping into it as a very quick performance test. I will do the test again when stable comes out. The current ETA is the 15th of August, so about 3 weeks from now. And in 3 weeks, I can do a lot. I'll also post the results to the forums and let's see what they're like. If you like this kind of content, everybody, don't be a zombie. Share the video far and wide. Give it 2 massive thumbs up, and please do subscribe. I really do want to make this my full-time profession. And always keep safe, and see you all soon.